4 monks at the St. Meinrad Arch Abbey are celebrating big anniversaries. More on that, plus Huntingburg's Denny Spinner joins me for a midweek edition of Monday with the Mayor, and Purdue Extension educator Jan Dugan talks about eating better on a budget tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with the race for the District 74 state representative seat heating up. Incumbent Republican Lloyd Arnold will now have a challenger coming up in November. The Democrats have chosen Chris Coyle to go up against Arnold in November. Arnold ran unopposed in the May primary election, and he's looking to win his second term in office. Indiana Democratic Party Chairman John Zody says Coyle brings a lot of ideas and energy to the table. He says those qualities are needed in the State House in order for Indiana to move forward. Coyle says he's running because Perry County needs more out of its state representative. He says Arnold spent hundreds of thousands of dollars during the 2012 election, only to do things differently than what he had promised. Coyle specifically pointed to Arnold's vote to cut funding to public schools in District 74 and to send that money to Indianapolis-based private schools. Now, this will not be the first time that Coyle has run for office. He also ran in the Democratic primary for a Perry County Commissioner's seat a few years ago. A native of Perry County, Coyle graduated from Tell City High School. He earned a bachelor's degree in political science from Indiana University back in 2008. He is also a recent graduate of the Graduate School of Political Management at George Washington University. Coyle is certified as an emergency medical technician. He later became certified as an advanced EMT and a paramedic after he worked for Perry County Emergency Medical Services. Now, House District 74 covers parts of Du Bois, Spencer, and Orange counties, and it also covers all of Perry and Crawford counties. A Huntingburg man was taken into custody for never having a driver's license after he flashed his headlights at a police officer. Huntingburg police say an officer was northbound in the 200 block of North Chestnut Street at about 10:45 last night when an oncoming car started to flash its high beam headlights at the officer's vehicle. After stopping the vehicle in the 100 block of South Chestnut Street, the driver, 38-year-old Oscar Ramirez, was found to have never had a valid driver's license. Ramirez was arrested and lodged in the Du Bois County Security Center. He is facing a Class C misdemeanor for operating a vehicle without ever getting a driver's license. Returning to a top headline, 4 monks at St. Meinrad Arch Abbey recently celebrated some big anniversaries. Father Cletus Miller, OSB, recently celebrated 2 of those. The first one was the 70-year Jubilee of priesthood ordination, as well as his 75-year Jubilee of monastic profession. Meanwhile, Father Benedict Meyer, OSB, celebrated his 60-year Jubilee of priesthood ordination, while Most Reverend Daniel Beekline was honored for his 50-year Jubilee of priesthood ordination. Finally, Father Lucas Mulcahy, OSB, was honored for his 25-year Jubilee of priesthood ordination. Mary Jean Schumacher is the Director of Communications for the Development Office at St. Meinrad. She says the recognition serves as a reminder of the vows that the monks take.
It's important to celebrate these anniversaries because one of the vows that these monks take is a vow of stability, and that's a vow that they take to commit themselves to this place, this monastery for their life, and this is a nice way to honor those who have arrived at a significant mile marker along that journey. So it's a very important thing for the monks to recognize.
Father Cletus is a native of Evansville and studied at St. Meinrad on the high school, college, and seminary levels. He originally professed his vows in August of 1939 and was ordained to the priesthood in May of 1944. He was one of the founding monks of the Blue Cloud Abbey in South Dakota. Father Cletus rejoined St. Meinrad after Blue Cloud Abbey's closing back in 2012. Father Benedict hails from Cedar Grove, Indiana. He professed his vows as a Benedictine monk in August of 1949 and was ordained as a priest in May of 1954. He earned his bachelor's degree at St. Meinrad College in 1950 and earned advanced degrees from the Catholic School of America in 1955 and in 1956. He taught at the St. Meinrad Seminary for 5 years and also spent many years in St. Meinrad's Brazil and Peru missions. Most Reverend Beekline is a Jasper native. He's the Archbishop Emeritus of the Archdiocese of Indianapolis. He served there from 1992 to 2011 after serving 5 years as the Bishop of Memphis. He studied at St. Meinrad between 1952 and 1964 before going to Sant Anselmo in Rome to do graduate work. He worked as a teacher and administrator for St. Meinrad College through 1971 when he became President Rector of St. Meinrad Seminary. He served in that role until he was appointed as Bishop of Memphis. Father Beekline originally professed his vows as a Benedictine monk in August of 1959 and was ordained as a priest in May of 1964. And then on a final note, Father Lewis hails from Lynn, Massachusetts. He started his religious life at St. Benedict Priory in Harvard, Massachusetts. He professed his vows as a Benedictine monk in 1981 prior to his transfer to St. Meinrad in 1984. He completed his Master of Divinity at St. Meinrad in 1988. Some of his other roles include being an associate chaplain for the Monastery of Immaculate Conception over in Ferdinand. Finally this evening, the June exhibit at the Jasper Arts Center's Crimp Gallery is set to feature the work of a local artist. Abby Locks, who resides in Celestine, will have her work showcased in the Crimp Gallery throughout the month of June. Her collection, known as Tread Lightly, features recent acrylic and oil paintings which address humans and their connection to nature. Locks says she is confused by modern society's attempts to avoid spending large amounts of time in nature on a daily basis. Examples of that phenomenon can range from heating and cooling systems to combat natural temperature, to vehicles parked as close to a building as possible to move safely between interior spaces. Many of the paintings in Locks' collection originate in locations within walking distance of her studio. The rest come from places where she once visited and or hiked with her family. Locks earned her bachelor's degree in visual arts education at Indiana University. She earned a master's degree in art at Northwestern State University. The first Thursday reception for this event is set for next Thursday, June 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. Locks will be attending and giving a gallery talk. The event is free to attend and a cash bar is set to be available. For more information, you can call the Jasper Arts Center at 482-3070. All right, coming up after the break, Huntingburg Mayor Denny Spenner joins me for a weekly edition of Monday with the Mayor, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Gooksell, and Inform with Jan Dugan. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.